What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, coming at you again with another banger. Appreciate all the love and support. Today, we're talking about that bad man, the young Brook, Mr. Irrelevant, who came over and took the NFL by storm for like 6 or 7 weeks last year, slinging the pigskin in San Fran. The silent, cold-blooded killer, real dealer, Brock Purdy. Let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Purdy played his high school ball at Perry High School out in Arizona, where he was putting up numbers as well as a prep star, knocking out some of the big-time programs with a more historic resume, you could say. He was named Gatorade Football Player of the Year his senior year. He was a 3-star prospect according to most of the scouting services, and he committed to Iowa State in 2018. Surprise, surprise, he came into Iowa State as a third string. Sound familiar? One guy went down, another one was ineffective, and Purdy got put in the game. He started 8 games his freshman year, completing 146 passes for 2,250 yards, 16 tutties, and only 7 interceptions. It was his career best 169.9 passer rating, and that was 6th best in the NCAA that year. He was also moving his feet on the ground like we've seen him do in the NFL this past season. He rushed for 308 yards and 5 tutties and finished with a 7-2 record. His sophomore year was more of the same. He started all 13 games, went 7-6, but he did have some big performances, including one game where he threw for 435 yards. And he took number 9 Oklahoma, led by Jalen Hurts, to the brink, losing a close game 42-41. But he had put his name on the map and helped Iowa State revive their program. The next year they went 9-3. Of course, the arrival of Breece Hall took it to another level, and in his senior year, Purdy continued to put up some pretty big numbers. He ended his time at Iowa State as a 3-time All-Big 12 quarterback and holds 32 school records, including career pass attempts, completions, percentage, yards, and passing touchdowns, along with 100 total touchdowns. He was drafted 262nd overall.
262nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select...
That's just a few picks after Skyler Thompson.
A bunch of late-round picks because of the Tyreek Hill trade was all that remained, and in the 7th round, the Dolphins took Kansas State quarterback Skyler Thompson. Most people saw Skyler and thought, what are the chances this guy even makes it through training camp? The Dolphins had 2 solid quarterbacks on the roster already, and if they needed a 3rd quarterback for emergency purposes, they could just sign one for cheap off the street. He seemed to be just a guy.
And now the reason we bring up Skyler Thompson is because Purdy was born and raised a Miami Dolphins fan. His dad was a huge Dan Marino fan. He actually wears number 13 for Dan Marino. So what would have happened if the Dolphins would have taken him in the 7th round instead of Skyler Thompson? What kind of impact could Purdy have had with his 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions through his several starts, 6 or 7 games, including the playoffs, leads the 49ers to the NFC West Division title over the Seahawks, beats the Seahawks again in the playoffs. One of those wins that we mentioned coming against Tom Brady, arguably the GOAT. He's the first quarterback to win their first game against Tom Brady in their first career start. Stopped a mud hole in them, 35-7. He closed out the regular season 5-0 for the 49ers, throwing for 1,374 yards, 13 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions, and got them boys to the 2nd seed of the playoffs with a passer rating of 119.4, the highest in 5 starts since Kurt Warner in 1999. The league was on notice. In the wild card we mentioned, he put the pause on the Seahawks, and they made it look relatively easy. He became the first 49ers rookie quarterback to start and win a playoff game while becoming 6-0 in his career. It felt like it took forever for him to lose a game. Then he goes in, beats Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. This man, I mean, dude, year one won 2 more playoff games than that. Now, he did run into somewhat of a buzzsaw in the NFC Championship game against the Butt. I think he put the league on notice, and it seemed like, the Eagles did a better job of figuring him out, as well as the Cowboys. He kind of struggled a little bit against more athletic defenses. But honestly, one of the most impressive runs we've seen from a rookie quarterback, maybe ever, to be honest with you. Like, it was nuts. Week after week, we kept challenging him. Week after week, he delivered. We kept saying it's got to end at some point. Like, no way he gets past this week. No way he gets past this week. Somebody's going to figure him out. And, I mean, he just kept doing his thing. Now, the Dolphins drafted him instead of Skyler Thompson. They got your guy Cheetah out there. Jalen Waddle, one of the most explosive offenses in the league. Do they get to the AFC Championship game? Do they make some noise? Are they knocking off the Bengals, maybe playing the Chiefs? It's a possibility the way Purdy was spreading out the rock. That was really all that the Dolphins were missing for the main part, especially on the offensive side. It's just somebody to get the ball out quickly. And as you saw with the 49ers, Purdy lets his guys work. He lets them do the work. He gets the ball out to the playmakers. And that's something the Dolphins could use. Skyler Thompson was forced to start after Tua and Bridgewater both were knocked out of games. Tua already showing that he's concussion prone, which is not a good sign for a young quarterback. And in fact, I think it stings a little bit more that Purdy literally wears number 13 for Dan Marino. Like, that's his guy. Dad is a fan. It would have been like a homecoming had he been drafted by the Miami Dolphins. I think everybody would have been happy with that solution. The Dolphins, not the only team, but they did fumble the bag, taking a quarterback in the 7th round, the same round as this kid. And Skyler Thompson was just not it. Threw 1 touchdown against the Bills, but also threw 2 interceptions. Those guys did fight. They were a 14-point underdog and ended up losing by 3. But still, Skyler Thompson, not the future. Showed some flashes in preseason, but not the future. Obviously not the upside that Brock Purdy has and has shown. I think the sky's the limit for this kid. People have even been talking about him in the same sentence as Brady. I'm like, whoa, maybe a little too fast. But hey, you never know. But with that, I think it is just a fun scenario, kind of just to study that, hey, if he would have been drafted by the Dolphins, what could have been? What would be? What could we see? I don't know, but we do wish Tua all the best at recovering because they've got way too much talent to not have a quarterback that's good to go. They were my dark horse to win that division. They were in it until Tua's injury. I think they'll be back next year. But I think this team would just look a lot different had they chosen the hometown fan, Brock Purdy. Anyways, let me know in the comments who y'all want to see me do next, what stories I should be telling. Holler at your boy. I'm doing it for y'all, doing it for the people. And until next time, make sure to subscribe for all the latest and the greatest. It's your boy Brandon, aka Brandon Lee TV. You dig?